This is Maxitrak's Sentinel DG6. It's a gas-fired model, 3/4 inch scale. And before we give it a test run, we're going to have a little look round it. So here we've got the boiler with its safety valve and filler, lubricator on the end of the steam pipe. There's a water gauge and a pressure gauge, and there's a gas tank with a filler and a gas valve for turning the gas on. And at the back here is the radio and the batteries for the radio control system with a switch here to turn it on. So before we give it a run, we're going to turn it over and just have a look at all the adjustments underneath, which should all be set, but it's useful to know just in case. So here we have underneath, we've got the boiler with its gas burner, the servos, one for the steering, one for the regulator, the engine unit and the drive system down to the back wheels. There's various adjustments, but it should all be set up to come out of the box and go, but just in case it's useful to know. There's an adjuster here for the air to gas mixture. That's quite critical for actually lighting the boiler, but that has been set, so don't move it unless it's not working properly. And we've got the radio control on, so we can check that that's all working. There's the steering, which works off that servo there, and then we've got the forward and reverse, which is this trigger on the control unit, and the little arm here needs to go right over from one square there to mid-gear position to the other square there. So that's full forward, that's off, that's full reverse, and between them you get the different speeds. Okay, so we're ready to fuel up now. I'm going to start off by filling the boiler. So I'm taking out the safety valve. You can just check that it's actually free in there. And we need to fill the boiler with water. And I'm using water from a distilled water, or this one's actually from a dehumidifier. And you should be able to see the water level coming up in the water gauge. So the boiler wants to be full but not right to the top. You need to allow a little bit of room for the steam. You can just see the water level coming up in the gauge now. So I'll fill it to the top of the glass, but there's still a little bit of space in the top of the boiler. Put the safety valve back. Okay, now we're going to do the gas. So that's the gas canister, and it's got an adapter on the top which just screws on. These are ordinary canisters as you would use for handheld blow lamps. So the adapter presses down onto the gas filler valve, and it takes about 30 seconds or so to actually fill the tank right up. Gas comes out as you're filling, but the liquid should be going in. And press down and off we go. If it starts getting a bit icy, you can leave it for a second, let the icing go and then carry on. But you can tell when the gas tank is full because it gets really splattery. Right, that's full. Next is the lubricator, which is on the steam pipe just inside the cab. So we take the top off and fill the lubricator with steam oil. Only use steam oil. It's the right sort of oil to get round and lubricate all the parts in the cylinder. If the engine's been run before, you need to drain the lubricator, and you do that by putting a syringe in it and drawing the water out of the bottom. Right, only really needs to be finger tight because it's got an O-ring to seal it. So we're ready to light up now. So this is the gas control valve, and we put it on so it's just the very least amount of gas. That's actually too much gas still. Have to wait for the gas to go right down and light on the burner. So that's now going pretty well. But you can't go full gas until everything's warmed up. We can put the roof on. So when the burner's full on, you should be able to look down the chimney and see the flame actually on the burner. And the burner itself should get dull red hot. And this one's just coming up to temperature. So the pressure's just coming up. We've got plenty on the pressure gauge. It shows us that the lorry is about to go. A little bit of steam coming out the tank now, so now that's working. I'm turning on the radio control, the handset and on the lorry, and then we're going to run it to and fro. So that's forward, and that's backward. I'm checking to see whether it's running straight, which it isn't really, so I'm going to adjust the steering. Get it back straight. Just make sure she's going through the control right in the straight direction. It's running pretty straight now. Three points there. Should be able to do a figure of 8. And that's going pretty well. there's a few settings in the handset which should be already done, but just in case, this one will change your steering from one way to the other. This one gives you a centralisation, so if the steering's always going one side or the other, you can adjust it on that. This one is the one for the regulator, and the two controls here, one would be for the forward and one for the reverse. That sets the centre off. One does the forward and the other one does the reverse. And really they're the only controls you need to look at.